Sterling poised for knee-jerk reaction to UK general election. A Conservative victory at this week's election is largely priced into sterling, although investors' portfolio advisor Quizd forecast the currency could swing anywhere from $1.05 to $1.40 depending on the outcome of Thursday's UK general election. The last poll from Yougov ahead of the 12th of December vote puts the Conservatives at 43% across the country while Labour sits at 34%. The Liberal Democrats are third at 12%. That would indicate the Conservative majority has fallen from 68 seats in November to 28 seats as voters head to the polls.Columbia. Threadneedle portfolio manager Alex Batten reckons if the results on Friday align with polls, GBP could move to $1.34 to 1.35. While markets have largely priced in a Conservative majority, they are still too scarred from past polling errors to price in the large lead currently projected in polls, Batten says. Knee-jerk reaction if Conservatives don't take a majority. Brooks Macdonald investment strategist Matthew Cady reckons sterling upside is limited thanks to market complacency about the Conservative lead in the polls. With the Conservative majority now the consensus, if Friday morning sees a different result, there could be a rush to exit sterling positions, Cady says. A hung parliament could see sterling back down towards the low 1.20s against the dollar, with a risk of delays in the current EU exit timetable of the 31st of January likely thrown into doubt. Hermes senior economist Silvia Dall'Angelo expects sterling to remain in its post-referendum $1.20 to 1.40 range. The pound could reach $1.35 on a Conservatives win or $1.25 or lower on a hung parliament, but both would be knee-jerk short-term reactions, Dall'Angelo says. Could sterling near parity with the dollar? The unlikely event of a Labour majority was deemed by Waverton CIO Bill Dinning to deliver a much stronger reaction. He forecasts sterling will fall to approximately $1.05, equivalent to a 20% drop from $1.30, under a Labour majority and 5% falls if they pull together a minority. While weak sterling has buoyed overseas earners in the FTSE 100 in the period after the Brexit referendum, Dinning anticipates 10% falls for the index in the case of a Labour majority because of the existential challenge its policies would represent. The party is pledging to give workers seats on boards and a 10% stake in the companies for which they work. It is also planning to nationalise trains and utilities. Positives from a strong Labour result, but many believe a Labour-led coalition would be positive for sterling because it would likely lead to a softer Brexit or no exit from the European Union at all. Option pricing for GBP downside protection is modest relative to previous events such as the 2016 referendum and Theresa May's deadline for Brexit in March, notes Yougov, manager of the newly launched New Burge. For more on this story, visit the news article link.